Okay,
Go ahead.
so first of all, good afternoon, everyone. I am Nutchanon Ngamsanguanprecha, and alongside with Nattakit Wattanakanyapong, Punnatron Muttarat, Pinruk Unhapongsa, and Warangkana Krobkaew. Welcome to our workshop. We are so delighted to guide you through our reading sessions for today, and some sessions will be described to you in English and Thai language for the best comprehension. If you have any questions, please send your message into the chat box. For today's conference is all about the exciting development in education. We are here to discuss two fantastic tools that make learning fun and creative for developing your reading skills. So let's dive into the world of Madlib and Telltale's game, ready to make the education more enjoyable and interesting for everyone. So first, let me explain about the Telltale games. Gaming revolutionizes. Telltale's game let you direct into interactive drama, shaping plots, evolving characters, and influencing grappling tales. And Mad Libs has turned storytelling into a hilarious adventure, prompting users to feel blank or unexpected. A glorious outcome, a perfect blend, structure, fun, and creativity.
Okay, then how could this application do? It's like having a visual playground where you are not just a player, but the director of your own stories. And you can weave narratives, play the role of storyteller, and drive into user-driven storytelling. And this means you get to add your own humor and spontaneity and wit to create a unique and entertaining experience every time you use this app. So it's not just an app, it's your creative space to craft and enjoy stories your way. And next is how to create content by using these tools. It's quite simple fun. First, shoot a template and then fill in the blanks with the word you love, and you will see your personalized tale unfold. The app adapts the narrative based on your choice, like Telltale Games, captivating storytelling. Okay, and now let's see the activity overview of this reading workshop.
Okay, now let's jump into workshop sessions. We'll have an activity called Interactive Story Adventures. In this reading workshop activities, participants will work individually to create an interactive story. The concept is inspired by Telltale Games, with a series of unpredictabilities using Madlib style prompts. Participants will explore branching narrative focused on characters development and make meaningful choices within their story and the activities. Objective aim to boost critical thinking and reading skills. Participants will read a MATLAB template, make the decisions, and fill in the blank. Through this process, you will observe outcome, share, and discuss imaginative story. This fosters creativity, problem solving in the storytelling world.
Okay, now let's take a look at the instruction of our activities. We have four main steps. For the first one, prepare. You have to choose a well-known genre or a familiar theme or familiar to students like sci-fi, mystery, and etc. Prepare a Madlibs template with blanks focusing on key story, like setting, characters, objects, actions, emotion, and dialogue. For the word building, using the Madlibs template, fills in the blanks, creating the foundation of that story. You can fill in the blank as an adjective or noun to encourage creative descriptions and diverse characters choices. For the branching part, prepare two scenarios with contrasting choice like will you choose one or will you choose two? Include blanks for the consequences of each decision and choose a path, fill in the corresponding blanks, and continue the story. And for the last step, climax and resolution. Participants lead their story to a unique climax and resolution based on the decision. The finally can include blanks for dialogue, actions, and the final fate of the characters. Okay, now we are going to talk about prompts. One, create a reading activity which participants can work individually or in groups to create an interactive story inspired by Telltale game with a twist of unpredictability by using Madlib style prompts. Generate 4 main steps for activities like the instruction preparation, word building, branching path, and climax and resolution. Focus on branching narrative characters, development, and meaningful choices. And then generate an opening to a story using Madlib style prompts. Also generate 6 situations related to the opening of the story for the branching path step using the Telltale Games concept, and add 2 options to each situation for a student to choose from. Okay, now you can take a screenshot of this prompt to use in the activity. Okay, please note that ChatGPT may not generate the same exact content each time, so differences are expected and adaptation is totally up to you.
All right. Now let's see just who exactly is this activity for. Actually, there's not any necessary restriction in terms of the levels of the students, types of school, English proficiency, or context. But what you can see on the screen in this Padlet is just a contextual example of the activity that we've prepared today. Firstly, you need to know what level your students are, and for example, how good are their English skills, and you can decide whether your activity will be easy or difficult. For example, if you teach primary school students, you may lower the difficulty and the complexity to suit their proficiency. And for the rubric scores, this is also adjustable as well, depending on your students' English proficiency or what you want to gain from them. For example, if you want to focus on grammatical proficiency, you may prioritize the grammar in your students' work and maybe give a higher score for this section. If you want to prioritize creativity, of course, you may give higher scores in the creativity section of your students' work as well. And for the Rubik scores, it's easy enough. You can use AI tools like ChatGPT to generate the Rubik scores for you, as well as shown by Mr. Yosapat recently. Okay. Next is the expected problems. Now, of course, everything has flaws, and these AI tools, as good as they are, have flaws too. And today I've picked some problems that you might face when using these AI tools that we have introduced to you, which are Madlibs and Telltale Games. And I'll provide a solution for each problem for you. So let's not waste our time. The first tool is Madlibs. For the first problem that may occur when using Madlibs is vocabulary knowledge problem. Sometimes some students may find the activity too hard because they may lack understanding of certain words or don't know a lot of words. So you can fix this by giving them a list of recommended words, or maybe ask them to bring their own vocabularies and encourage them to use it to enhance their vocabulary. So now they have more words to work with in this activity. Next is inappropriate content. Of course, Mad Libs can sometimes generate sentences that are inappropriate or offensive for certain levels of students. If you care about this, you can, of course, pre-screen your Madlibs or maybe create your own Madlibs templates just to make sure that the content is educational, environment friendly, and is suitable for all levels of students. The third problem that may occur is overemphasis on humor. Some students may only focus on creating sentences that are funny rather than creating sentences that make sense with the context or meaning of the story. If that's the case, and you can give them some guidelines that highlight the importance of creating sentences that make sense within the given context to balance creativity and comprehension of the story. And for the last issue of Mad Libs is lack of engagement. Some students may find Mad Libs boring or uninteresting or not challenging enough for them, and that's fine. So you can introduce themed Mad Libs related to current topics you're teaching, maybe literature or subjects of interest to just to make the activity a little bit more fun and more relevant. But remember that you need to know the level of your students first before creating the activity. Moving on to telltale games, and I have picked four issues for you as well. The first one is technical issues. Sometimes technical glitches or issues with devices may occur and they may disrupt the flow of the Telltale game activity. So you need to check your devices beforehand to make sure that all devices are working properly, and also you may need to sometimes have a backup plan just in case of some other technical issues. The second issue is inaccessibility for all students. Some students may not have access to necessary technology or devices to participate in the Telltale game activity. So you can provide alternative options such as maybe printed worksheets or transcripts or summaries of the game's narrative for those who cannot participate digitally. Number three is loss of focus. This is very common. Students might lose focus during the gameplay, which they will, of course, not understand the game clearly. So you can organize discussions or reflection sections at the end of the class just to make sure that every student is actively engaging with the narrative and understanding the key concepts correctly. And as for the last problem is difficulty levels. The game's difficulty level may not be suitable for all students, and some may find it hard, or some may find it too easy, which of course will result in frustration or disengagement. And when you choose games, you have to adjust your difficulty or help the students who find the game too difficult, such as guiding questions. But of course, before it all, as I've mentioned before many times, know your students' levels. Okay, now let's have a look at the example of our activity, just to get a clearer image of what we're working with here. So, assuming that uh, you know who your students are and you've already asked ChatGPT or other AI tools to generate an activity for you, and this will be the steps of the activity. So we've already done the preparation part. As you can see, the genre of the story that we've picked for our students is mystery. We will now move on to the word building step. And as you can see, if you use the second prompt that we've presented, you will get an opening to the story, just like this. And in this activity, students will have to fill in the blanks that you've got to encourage them to use their creativity to add their own sentences or words in this section. And of course, this section uses the concept of Mad Libs, which is to use creativity to add the missing words or sentences, and the words they add have to make sense. When they have finished this part, and they will move on to the third step, which is branching paths. Now, some of you may not be familiar with branching paths, so I'll just explain it quickly. Branching path is a common feature of game design, especially common in story-driven games. Branching paths will occur when you make decisions that lead to different consequences and outcomes. And if you are not familiar, just picture playing a video game where you're about to get to the resolution of the story, and towards the end, you have choices to make in game, and each of these decisions will lead you to a different resolution of the story. And as you can see, we asked ChatGPT to generate these situations according to the opening of the story. And the ChatGPT has generated 6 situations for us. And in this section, the students will have to choose only one situation that they want to continue their story with. And as you can see, we still use the Mad Libs concept here as well. They have to fill in the missing words. And after that, they choose option A or option B to continue the story. Now that the students have done the branching paths part, this will be the resolution of the story, which is the complex, uh, sorry, climax and resolution part of the story. And yeah, after they've selected their situation and chosen their option, the story will just continue from here. Students will have to write their own climax and resolution of the story, such as what happens at the end, or what happens to the character, or is there any plot twist in in your story? And they have to use their own creativity, and the story should make sense according to the decision they've made in the previous part. Okay, and that's it for the activity. So right now, I will just send the Padlet links for you. The first link will be the link to our outline of the activity, which is this one, just for you to get the prompt. If you want to try to create your own activity using our prompt and to get an idea of the activity. So this is the first link. And the second link will be the link to our activity. So for those of you who would like to try this activity, you can use the second link, and it will take you to this Padlet called Reading Workshop. And you can follow the steps and instructions here. And for anyone who has finished, you can assign your work in the last section right here. You can send as a PDF file or next copy and paste your the whole text in here. It's you can do it at your own convenience. All right. All right, we have 3 minutes left. And I would like to remind you before we end this workshop activity. So remember that ChatGPT may not generate the same exact step as we got. And you may not want to use the same exact step as us. So once again, I would like to tell you that the steps are adjustable, totally adjustable, and you may probably add some more steps, such as ice breaking, warm up, that could work, or of course, presentation at the end where students can share their own story, and this will solve the disengagement problem as well. So students will focus on the activity because they have to make presentations at the end. And yeah, like I said, it's totally up to you. Once again, if anyone wants to try this activity, we have sent you the link. You can go to the second link that I've sent into the chat function, and you can copy and paste these and do it at your own convenience. And that wraps up our reading workshop session. Thank you everyone for participating today. We hope you enjoyed our session, and now we will leave the breakout room and join the main room to attend the rest of the conference for today. Thank you once again, everyone, and see you in the main room.